Okay. Good morning. My name is Anne-Berit Kavli, and I'm the moderator of Theme 1 for the eForum discussions. This morning we will have a hangout presentation by Dr. Asmah Ahmad from CNB, the Southeast Asia Primary PLM. This topic is a very relevant topic to the eForum discussions on how regional and international assessments can actually inform national education systems. To what extent are these international or regional tests actually relevant? We look forward to hear Dr. Asmah's presentation, please.
Thank you. Is this?
Yes.
Okay. So do I start now?
Should we start?
I don't know. Do I start now? Yeah, I think so. Well, how about the PowerPoint?
Yes, please.
Okay. So I'll start with the PowerPoint now. Yeah, Jimina?
Yes, please. Yes, please.
Okay, thank you. All right. Okay. Okay. All right. Hello, everybody. I'm Asma from CMO, which is the Southeast Asia Ministers of Education Organization, Secretariat based in Bangkok. And I would like to present today on Southeast Asia, primary learning metrics. In short form, it's called CPLM. Sometimes people like to pronounce it as CPLM. Okay, this is a very tight collaborative effort between CMO. You can see our logo on the PowerPoint below, CMO, as I pointed out on my cursor, and then UNICEF with UNICEF ePro, and then ACR. ACR is our consulting for this project. And you can see on the top of the PowerPoint, that's our logo, the Southeast Asian map, and then CPLM spelled out as it is. And of course, matrix, that's a red ruler there. Okay, move on to the content of the presentation for today. I will go through the rationale, purpose, and methodological approach. And then next would be the current status of the CPLM. And then how does we develop the development of the program logic. Next would be the global, regional, and organizational priorities. And then we're going to look at the geographic rollout, the target population, and filling the gap in this CPLM initiative. And then we'll look at the structure as well. I'm going to tell a bit about the CPLM organizational structure. And next would be emphasis on the national priorities and sectoral impact. The second last would be the key moments of the implementation of CPLM. And lastly would be the concluding thoughts. Okay, let's look at the rationale and purpose. Firstly is to describe, this presentation is to describe the evolution of this major new regional assessment. I will repeat that, new regional assessment, which is the Southeast Asia Primary Learning Metric, CPLM. And then next would be to identify and analyze the key factors that affected its evolution from the year it started, 2012. That's when we proposed to have this new regional assessment, and then till now, which is 2015, and the critical factors which must be considered when developing regional metrics. And then thirdly will be to describe the need. This presentation is to describe the need for regional metrics in the Southeast Asian, within the Southeast Asian member countries, and the need to ensure the utility at the country level and how the managers have responded to such challenges. Okay, next, what's the methodological approach to this presentation today? It's we, senior UNICEF, EPRO, and ACR as a participant observer. And then the documentation, that's part of the, how we came up with this PowerPoint, this working paper that we had. Of course, the PowerPoint will go with the working paper. And then the documentation analysis from key moments in the development of CPLM. And then external debates in which authors were engaged, including assessment consultation at UNESCO Paris, which is earlier this year, which is in February 2015. And what's our vision? This is it. This is the vision of CPLM. CPLM will contribute towards improving, right? We always say we want to improve. So, and what else? It's redefining learning outcomes. I will repeat again, redefining learning outcomes by what? By providing a regional, culturally, that's very important for us, a culturally appropriate metrics, and thereby towards a more equitable and meaningful education. Yeah, equitable and meaningful education for all children across the region, across the Southeast Asia region. That's our vision. And then what do we want this project, the outcome of this project? Firstly, to enhance capacity, to generate and analyze assessment data at regional, not just regional level, the national level and the subnational levels. In the ministries of education, we always put an importance to capacity building. So this project outcomes is one of it, enhance the capacity to generate and analyze assessment data at all levels. And then secondly, enhance capacity to utilize assessment data for education improvement and more equitable learning outcomes at regional, national, subnational levels. Because we always, when we go for our country visit at the country level, they ask like, well, okay, we have this massive data, what we're gonna use with this? How to use it? Just not, it's supposed to, we're supposed to use the data for education improvement. That's what we the second point is to enhance capacity to utilize assessment data for education improvement. And then thirdly, enhance ASEAN integration. When we said ASEAN integration, usually we think about ASEAN member states, but Southeast Asian, CMIO, Southeast Asian Ministers of Education Organization, also include Timor-Leste. So when we say ASEAN, it's ASEAN member state, but we also include Timor-Leste when we talk about ASEAN. Okay, in terms of what? In terms of approaches to assessment, this time around with initial focus on primary grade 5 in the domains of literacy, which is focusing on reading and writing, and then numeracy, which is mathematics in this context, and global citizenship. I will explain more the special aspects of CPLM. Okay, and here comes the slide. What's the unique features about CPLM? It's the only assessment at regional scale designed to measure progress in relation to the values and curricula of the Southeast Asian region. Because I will explain the process that we go through. We take into the values of Southeast Asian region, we take into the values of the curricula of this region. So this is the only assessment at regional scale to this point as of today. And then it's the first assessment in the world as of today to access writing across languages. And Southeast Asia member countries, there's a diversity of languages used in the countries, like 11 member countries. And then thirdly, what are the unique features about CPLM is the only assessment in region today, as of today, to access foundation of global citizenship and Southeast Asian values. So these are the unique features of the CPLM, and actually, me personally, I'm quite proud. We go into this initiative, first assessment to assess writing, cross-language, and then global citizenship, to assess foundation of global citizenship in this region with the Southeast Asian values, right? Okay, next, what are the factors affecting program logic development, which is like from the year 2012. The thematic focus is influenced by the global development, including learning metric task force. But we are focusing on reading and writing, already mentioned, literacy, and then mathematics from numeracy, and global citizenship, right? And then what are the other factors affecting program logic development, which is the from the region post-2015 agenda. We have the Bangkok statement. It says that quality in education will be supported also, okay, by learning environments that are safe, healthy. I think everybody has heard this before. Okay, gender sensitive, inclusive, and conducive to learning, mother tongue based multilingual education, and this is the punchline, comprehensive monitoring and quality assurance system, right? This is what it's all about. And then what are the factors affecting program logic development is based on the global post-2015 agenda, which is the World Education Forum Declaration. Is that it stated that we commit to quality education and to improving learning outcomes. And when we commit to quality education and improving learning outcomes, it requires strengthening inputs, processes, and measuring the progress, right? Okay, next would be the senior 7 priority areas. As you can see that we have 7 priority areas, which is the senior new education and agenda. Actually, we have this, like before 2015, we have this ready, but we would like to prioritize these areas till 2035. As you can see, the first one is ECCE, Early Childhood Care and Education. Number 2, addressing barriers to inclusion. And thirdly is resiliency in the face of emergencies. And the 4th is promoting technical and vocational education and training, Tibet. And we have teacher education. And then next would be the harmonization in higher education and research. And lastly, adopting 21st century curriculum. So among these 7, we would say that the weightage is priority number 7, adopting 21st century curriculum. But it also can be addressing the 7 priority areas. Yeah. So these are senior 7 priority areas. Okay. The next would be UNICEF, this Asia and Pacific, UNICEF priority areas. The aim, strengthen equity agenda, include learning outcomes in the equity analysis, and then on top of that, enhance access to inclusive and quality learning for all children. And the indicator would be like number of countries utilizing data derived from the Southeast Asia primary learning metrics. And what is it for? To inform policies. And all this would link to USKI, which is the out of school children initiative or projects or programs or activities, and then inclusive education, minimum standards, learning standards, and teacher education and curriculum reform. And what's our geographic rollout? By 2020, we would have a regional matrix for all CMIO and ASEAN member countries. As I mentioned before, when we say CMIO member countries, it would be including Timor-Leste, but with ASEAN, it's only like 10 member states. And then within 2016 and 2017, we would like at least 6 CMIO member countries will have done field trials and main surveys. At the moment, which country we have on board is Brunei Darussalam, Cambodia, Laos, PDR, and Myanmar. And we hope to have other member countries to join this field trials and main survey in the future, starting next year, soon. Yeah. But at the moment, we have Brunei, Cambodia, Laos, PDR, and Myanmar. So we would appreciate it very much if the other member countries would come on board by January 2016. Okay, this is the Southeast Asian member countries map. You can see there, right, 11 member countries. And then the other logo is our CMIO centers. That's our CMIO centers that assisting the member countries in implementing initiative or programs that would, support the member countries to improve on the education system. Okay, and then this is the target population, starting with primary grade 5. This is the face of the Southeast Asian children. And this Southeast Asia Primary Learning Matrix, CPLM, we will start with primary grade 5. Right? And then next slide will be about filling the gap. What does it mean by filling the gap? Okay, let's see. Okay, PEARLS, PISA, TEENS, and EGRA, they have global presence. I think like some of the Southeast Asian member countries are involved in PISA or even TEENS. But how about, okay, it says here, whereas others have had a regional focus, such as, okay, LLECE, SECMEC, right? You can see from the map itself where does LLECE and SECMEC situated, and PESEC, then where's UESO, ASEUR, okay, and then PILNA, right, on that side of the world. But how about CPLM? See, CPLM covers the Southeast Asian member countries, which is just perfect, like it's filling the gap if you see from the whole world context. Okay, and then what's the organizational structure, right? From the country level up to like what's the role of CMIO, Secretariat, that's where I based CMIO Secretary. What's the role of UNICEF people, country office, and centers, CMIO centers? Okay, let's see. We have here the ministry, Ministry of Education, and within the Ministry of Education, you have the National Steering Committee. The National Steering Committee will be playing they are the decision makers, the advisory role. And within the Ministry of Education, you have the technical team. These people are the ones who come up with the development of the framework and then the items for this CPLM, right? And then we have here CMIO Secretariat, yeah, advisory role to the ministry. We work together, of course, because like CMIO is Southeast Asian Institutes of Education Organization anyway. And then we have CMIO centers supporting, okay, supporting CMIO. And then here we have UNICEF people, advisory role to the ministry, and also UNICEF country office. Like in the case of Brunei Darussalam, we have a CMIO center there, VOCTEC, assisting Brunei in the implementation, Brunei Darussalam in the implementation of CPLM. And for instance, Laos, PDR, Cambodia, and Myanmar, we have UNICEF country office there to assist in the implementation of CPLM. And then ACR, our consultant, Australian Council of Educational Research, would assist the technical team, directly, and sometimes would go through us, or to make sure that everything runs smoothly during the implementation of CPLM. Okay, that's the current organizational structure. Okay, what are the emphasis on national priorities and sectoral impact? We require, we truly would like, for this to happen, to make it work, a political commitment required at all levels in the development and rollout. And then we need to link to broader capacity building in assessment and education improvement. And not just that, we have to have the timing of the survey in relation to other governments' commitments to assessment, because member countries, they already have the national assessment, and they already have in place national assessment, and some of the member countries have international, like involved in international assessment. So this timing of the CPLM must be coincide or in line with the government's commitment to assessment. And then we have to ensure that the analysis of CPLM will support development and improvement of standards for all children. What's the point of us doing CPLM? It has to support the development and improvement of standards for all children. Okay, I will go through the key moments of CPLM. As already mentioned, we started in 2012. And if you can see, we went through to various senior meetings. Okay, for instance, in November 2012, that would be our senior high officials meeting. Consists of high officials from every member countries, 11 member countries. They are the ones who will be endorsing any proposal. For instance, here, the proposal on the development of CPLM and plan for phase 1 to be completed in 2013 was presented and endorsed. Endorsed, not approved. When the HOM endorses, then it can go to the next one, which is the Senior Council Conference. In short form, it's called CMEC. They're the ones who can approve, which is, this council conference consists of ministers of education. They're the ones who attended this meeting. They're the ones who can approve whatever proposal that we put before them. High official endorse, and then we go through the CMEC for approval. So the proposal was approved, and then the next part, we come up with a working group beginning of 2013. So you can see that it takes some time. It's nothing like we want to do something and we have to go through this procedure. It's all about advocacy and buy-in. We have to get member countries to actually commit and be able to commit. Okay, the members, when we come up with the working group in the beginning of 2013, the Senior Secretariat, and Inotech. Inotech is based in Philippines at Tower Center, and UNICEF EPRO, our very good marriage partner, and then UNESCO, which is UIS and EPR units, and then ACR, consultant, and then we have our UNESCAPE Statistic Division. And then from there, UNESCO, Inotech organized our ERG meeting, which is the Regional Expert Reference Group meeting in September 2013. And from this meeting, it's where we decided to do first with the primary grade 5, focusing on mathematics, which is numeracy and literacy, and global citizenship. Okay, so from there we have the desk review completed in December, same year, and Senior Inotech did the curriculum mapping on primary school curricula in the Southeast Asian member countries, and ACR did a desk review experiences with primary learning metrics, and also like with PISA and teams in the region. And for the next high officials meeting, this CPLM working paper was presented again, and we asked for the endorsement for the next phase, right? And the proposed candidates for the next phase were Brunei Darussalam, Laos PDR, Malaysia, Philippines, and Thailand, right? But as I mentioned earlier, that the countries that come on board only involve Brunei Darussalam, Cambodia, Laos, and Myanmar. So we still need to get the other member countries to actually involve in the field trial. So the key moments continues. We presented again at the Senior Center Directors meeting because we would like our senior centers to involve in this implementation of CPLM. And then to the Senior Executive Committee meeting again in August the same year, 2014. And then we have the launching ceremony in October of the CPLM with the commitment of the other countries that already mentioned, Brunei Darussalam, Laos, Malaysia, Philippines, and Thailand. And everybody expressed support and willing to participate. And then ACR, our consultant, again was recruited the same month, the same year. And then we have our first CPLM regional consultative meeting for this phase 2 in November 2015 at one of our center, which is Senior Accent based in Penang, Malaysia. And then for the next high officials meeting, HOM, which is November 2014, the same month, we report the updates of the implementation of the CPLM to our high officials. And obviously, the HOM endorses the report and then further express continued support, okay, for this the implementation of the CPLM. And that it's really moving fast after that. We had our domain technical review panel meeting in February, the following year, February 2015, and a draft framework was developed. This meeting was great. We get together like all the 11 member countries and then the senior centers and UNICEF ePro bringing all these experts from all over the world. And we sit down together and we come up with the framework on reading, writing, maths, and global citizenship. It was like a really heated intellectual discussion, especially on global citizenship. Okay, and then on the 40th CMAC, which is like earlier this year, May 2015, we report on the updates again to the Senior Council. And of course, they approve and express support, continued support. And then straight after that, and before that, we have country visits to Cambodia, to Laos, to Brunei Darussalam, and Myanmar. You can see there's a pattern there. First to Cambodia in February, then Laos in March, and then Brunei May, and Myanmar October. We need to go to country visit to all the member countries to further assist them, like how the process, the procedure in implementing the CPLM. We cannot just have a regional meeting and just let it be and let them like go on about it. We have to go down and help assist member countries. And this involves the senior and also UNICEF ePro, UNICEF country office, senior secretariat, senior centers, and of course also ACR, yeah, because they will take care of the technical expert. And then not long after that, we have our item development workshop. We develop reading and writing items, also mathematics. But for global citizenship, we decided not to have a test item, but instead we have a questionnaire because it is for primary grade 5 students. And the member countries decided that and also our ACR and everybody during the meeting decided that it's best to have it as a questionnaire rather than a test item. But we also have a questionnaire for teachers, principals, and parents. We will try to get parents also to be involved in answering the questionnaire. And these items it's also curriculum like reference, and then also it has our Southeast Asian like values and cultures integrated, because it's a diversity of culture here and diversity of languages in this area, beliefs, you know. So we have to get that, keep that in mind. And when the countries go through all this, they adapt, adopt, reconciled, and even do the translation. You have to do the translation, but it's because some countries don't do it in English. Yeah. Okay. And then about the CPLM, we also presented in our other meetings, such as our High Official Forum. We have an annual High Official Forum rotating through all the member countries. And then we also have governing board meetings. These are the senior centers governing board meetings. We also update because they are also involved in the implementation of CPLM. And then during the field operations planning and data management workshop, which is in August 2015, we involved the first field trial countries first, Brunei Darussalam, Cambodia, Laos, and Myanmar. It's all about how you're going to manage, how you're going to conduct the CPLM at the school level, and simple things like printing the brochure and making sure that everything goes smoothly. And I would really like to give a big round of applause. I mean, we would like to give a big round of applause to Brunei Darussalam, because they're the first country who successfully did the field trial. And I mean, we're going to highlight this in our high officials meeting. We're going to have a high officials meeting at the end of this month, we're trying to highlight that and congratulate Brunei Darussalam in their successful conduct of the first field trial in CPLM. And also, besides that, we have senior secretary, somebody from Senior Secretariat, our consultant from Senior Secretariat, our project coordinator from Senior Secretariat, and ACR, that went to the field trial in Brunei Darussalam and documented the whole thing, because we want to learn. Okay, because we want to learn what actually happened, what can be improved. Because the next country, which is Cambodia, Laos, and Myanmar, they're going to implement it early next year. So we have to make sure for the next 3 countries, it will be running smoothly. Excuse me. Okay, last slide. Okay, concluding thoughts, which in other words, a condition of success for the implementation of CPLM. Firstly, it has to be a strong political leadership in any implementation of any projects, activities, or initiative. Yes, we have to have a strong political leadership, and that a strong political commitment, right? That's very, very important. Political leadership, political commitment. And not just that, when you want to have a strong political leadership and commitment, we have to have a comprehensive communication strategy. That's how we do our advocacy and buy-in. Has to be comprehensive communication strategy, not just from the top level, but to the ground level. And then we have to have the capacity development. I mean, to implement successfully this CPLM, we have to have a really good capacity development building among the officers involved, among the staff involved. And then not just that, we have to accommodate to government priorities and planning cycles. In other words, we cannot like burden the the government per se. It has to accommodate to the government priorities and planning cycles. And then the coordination mechanism has to be clear and coherent. And that's very important as well. And high quality and predictable technical leadership, which comes from ACR, to ensure that the survey, the CPLM, meets international standards. That's really important. And then And then, last but not least, but before that, commitment to the utilization of the data. I mean, if we get this data, how are we going to use it to the best? And keep it in mind, the data should help the member countries in improving their education system. And then last but not least, adequate and predictable funding. Any program, activities or projects that we want to implement, there has to be adequate and predictable funding. So we would like, if there's any potential interested donors or development partners who are interested in this project, please do feel free to contact us, and we can have a discussion and see how it can benefit on both sides, like a win-win situation. So with that, I end my presentation and question and discussion. If you can see, there's a logo there, CPLM, sea plum, like a plum surfing the sea. Okay, thank you. I'll wait for your question, then I will answer your question. Thank you so much.
Hello.
Hello,
Thank
Jamila.
you so much, Asmah, for this very interesting presentation. It will be very interesting to follow this project further. I do have a couple of questions for you.
Okay.
We see that you have a very, very ambitious plan for testing, and you plan to test both writing and global competencies. And of course, this has been very, very challenging to do it, both internationally and also nationally. So I would like to hear a little bit more about which aspects of writing, for example, that you plan to test, and also how you plan to actually build skills to measure this in a comparative way. If you would like to elaborate a little bit on this, because this is so new for international.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, you know, that's the always the first question that came about when we present about CPLM. I would propose for another session with our technical expert, ACR, to answer that that question like in detail, because the consultant, they're the one who like have the everything like ready, and what aspect of the writing that we're going to measure. I would propose that, because you actually said that, mentioned that to us before, that you would like our ACR, Janine of ACR, to have a different time, a slot to explain in detail on the technical aspect. Okay, and then you also for the global competencies too. Jamina?
Yes.
Hello? Yeah, okay. Hello?
You're here.
Yeah, I mean, it would be perfect if you can have like Janine of ACR to be on board for the next slot and answering those technical aspects of like how to measure the writing and how to measure about global competencies.
Okay, so we will follow that further.
Yeah.
Another question I had is you also underlined the need for capacity building within the participant countries. Could you say a little bit more about how you will do that in practice?
Okay, you see from the PowerPoint, we went through a lot of regional consultative meeting and workshop. That's part of the capacity building for our people in member countries, the technical team, the national steering committee, the people who's actually is going to implement the CPLM. Okay, for a start, we had this regional consultative meeting in Penang, if you remember my slide. That's the starting point of the CPLM phase 1. And then the second one is the development of the framework. When we come up with the framework, in a way, the countries, the member countries and our senior centers, they learn how to come up with this framework, the CPLM framework, but it's a draft. The draft framework of this reading, writing, and mathematics and global citizenship framework. That's how we meant by capacity building with our participants. And if you remember our slide on item development workshop, we also we sit together and they learn from each other how to come up with an item for this CPLM, and also from the workshop on field testing, data management, field operation and data management. The same thing. That's part of the capacity building. Of course, we have our ACR sharing their expert areas with the participants, how they're going to conduct the CPLM at the country level. So that's from the regional level, right? And then when they go back to their countries, they would then train the people at their country, the people involved in the country. Is that all right, Jamina?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, sorry.
Did I answer your question?
Yes, thank you very much. I think this is a very good answer, and I really believe in the high involvement that you have with all the countries participating. I think that is very positive.
Okay.
I don't think we have any more questions from participants now, so I want to thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Jamina. Thank you, everybody.
They can be answered and discussed further there. So thank you very much, Asmah. It was very, very interesting.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.